What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the new film Free Guy. So Free Guy is a brand new film, and since it's new I will not be touching on spoilers, but I am going to talk about some of the stuff that you can see in the trailers. And so yeah, the basic premise of this film is that you have Ryan Reynolds in our lead role as the character Guy, who is just an NPC, a non-playable character in a video game, and eventually starts to kind of discover himself throughout this world and kind of breaks the mold and kind of starts doing whatever he wants to do in the video game. It starts to upset the villain of the film, played by Taika Waititi, who is on the outside of the video game and does not know why his game is completely out of his control now, and wants to destroy the game from the inside to try to stop all the rest of the stuff that's going on in the plot. I will say that after having seen this trailer for this movie and the various trailers that have come out for it for a long time now, for what literally feels like almost 2 years, because I believe this film was supposed to come out before the pandemic or right like after the pandemic started, and of course, like a lot of movies, it was delayed. And so yeah, finally being able to check out the movie, I was actually really surprised to see that there were a lot of actors, a lot of characters in this movie, and just a lot about the plot that is not given away in the trailer itself. The trailer has a lot of action, a lot of really big set piece moments, and primarily focuses on the video game aspect of the movie. So it was really, really awesome to see that, you know, when I was watching the movie, there were a lot of genuine surprises and things that I didn't expect to see in the movie because the marketing really didn't lean into those things. So yeah, without a doubt, definitely enjoyed that element of it, especially when it comes to a movie that I've seen the trailer for on a million occasions. This film was directed by Shawn Levy, and he's not necessarily a director whose name necessarily comes to mind immediately. I don't really know what he had worked on, but after looking at IMDb right before doing this review, I saw that he's done things like Cheaper by the Dozen. He did, I believe, most of the episodes or all the episodes for Jet Jackson back in the day on Disney Channel, as well as the Jet Jackson movie. He also did stuff like the Night at the Museum movies, Big Fat Liar. So a lot of movies that I've actually genuinely enjoyed growing up watching, and overall he's just a really talented director, and I think he definitely shows his strengths here. Overall, what I can say about this movie is I found this to be a great time. I was laughing throughout, and it's just a pleasant watch. This is the kind of movie that you go to the theaters to go and see. A big, over-the-top popcorn film that has plenty of laughs with great performances throughout, some great moments where you can laugh with your family or friends, whoever you go to see the movie with, and ultimately is just a spectacle film. So there's so much about this film that works on a visual level, on a performance level, on a comedy level, which has a story level as well. And by the end of the movie, I was totally invested in everybody. I was totally invested in what was happening. And like I said, the best way I can really kind of, you know, explain what this movie is for me was just be a pleasant watch. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I do highly recommend it. I don't want to get too deep into any of the plot or some of the stuff that I didn't know about the film going into it, because again, I think that the marketing has done a really good job of primarily focusing on Ryan Reynolds' character and kind of the stakes that are going on with the video game side of things, which of course is majority of the film. But there are a lot of things in terms of the plot and the other characters who are kind of involved in everything that again are not shown in the trailer. And I again have to commend Shawn Levy and everybody else who was involved in this film for not, you know, spoiling any of that in the trailers themselves. They easily could have showed us a lot more, and it just kind of lended itself to being a movie where I can kind of sit back and have those, you know, surprises that I didn't really expect. There's also tons of cameos from a bunch of people in this movie, whether they're, you know, A-list celebrities or Twitch streamers, video gamer players on YouTube. So yeah, it was really awesome to see so many cameos coming from people with, you know, big stardom to people who are popular but for more of a niche audience. I thought that was really, really cool, and I think if you're a big time gamer, this movie's definitely going to put a smile on your face as well, because while watching it as a longtime gamer myself, like I've mentioned in the past with things like Ready Player One, it's just like, it's so awesome to see these directors take all these elements from video games, some of the cliches, some of the jokes, and jam pack them into a movie in a way that longtime gamers can definitely enjoy and have some fun with. If I had to give some negatives to this movie, there were a handful of moments that got a little bit slow, but overall I think that they did a good job of handling those moments well and utilizing those moments to really balance out the characters and develop these characters to the point that by the time you get to the end of the movie, you really are attached to these characters and their journey, and I felt like that was definitely the best way to use those slow moments in the film. And that's just me trying to, you know, nitpick or find something that I genuinely find found to be a negative. The only other negative that I would say that this movie has, and may just kind of become a dated element as the film, kind of just lives on in history, is that there's plenty of trendy jokes that definitely are leaning into where the world is right now and the humor and the sensibilities of things at this current time, which is usually the case with anything that's leaning into comedy or a lot of action movies in general. Of course, they're going to make a movie for the time, but a lot of times when you do hear those trendy jokes, sometimes there is that element of feeling like that's going to be a little bit dated as time goes on. A perfect example of a great movie that has one trendy joke in it that kind of just doesn't work for me is something like Black Panther, that has the what are those jokes in terms of, obviously, what are you wearing on your shoes? It's a big meme. It was a big joke at the time, but anytime I watch Black Panther, I always find that joke to just not really be that funny, and I just wish that they hadn't put it in there, because it's just one of those trendy jokes that kind of dates the film and kind of doesn't hold up. And so there's a couple of those in this movie that weren't necessarily hilarious to me, but for the most part I found this film to be very charming, very fun, very funny. I found the performances across the board to be great. The main stars of this film, without a doubt, are Ryan Reynolds. You have Jodie Comer, I believe is how you say her name, and she is our love interest in the film. She's one of our leading ladies, or the leading lady in the film, and I thought she was great. I have never really seen her in anything else, or at least not anything that I'm aware of, and I thought she gave a great performance throughout. Definitely believable. I was definitely in it for her and her journey along with Ryan Reynolds' character. Then you have the villain, like I mentioned, played by Taika Waititi, and he's just great. He plays an asshole in the movie, but he's just great. And then you have Keery from Stranger Things, and yeah, I just always love to see him in different things. He was great in this movie as well. And then you have tons of other actors in this film that appear here and there, and like I said, some great cameos. So overall, this is going to go ahead and wrap up my thoughts. I found this to be a great time. I highly recommend it. If you can get to a theater and go check it out, definitely do so. And now that this film is actually being released under Disney, since Disney has bought Fox, and this was one of those later films that Fox had already started working on, it was cool to see them kind of implement all these different references, hints, and nods to various things that Disney owns. I won't get into the spoilers of what those are, but if you've seen the movie, there's definitely some great fan service moments that, if you're a big fan of a lot of the things that Disney owns, I think you'll have a lot of fun with that. So gonna go ahead and wrap up my thoughts right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say though, so please leave a comment down below. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to help me grow this channel out more, and yeah, most importantly, definitely can't wait to hear from you guys as to what you thought about this movie, if you've already seen it or if you plan to check it out. Again, a big thanks to all of you guys for watching, and I look forward to hearing back from you guys. And yeah, bye bye.